Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today, or rather this evening, because I am doing a late video tonight, had parent-teacher conferences which went great, but I am now back and wanted to talk about the news of the day. And this story really stood out to me a lot because I really do feel like this is something where getting into the Star Wars news, obviously it's very easy to get caught up with emotions and anger and frustration with the current state of Star Wars, and I think that it's definitely something that needs to be continued because these people need to understand what they have done and that the people, the fans, are not standing for it. But there's also an opportunity. There's also time to talk about some of the positive things and some good things going on in the Star Wars universe right now. And I think one of the best things going on as of just a few days ago, really, when Mark Hamill actually came out with this and was started to push for this campaign. In fact, I think the tweet went out maybe even earlier today. He says Mark Hamill asked Star Wars fans to lobby for Carrie Fisher's star. If you don't know, the Hollywood Walk of Fame has stars from several different big Hollywood people throughout the years, and Carrie Fisher has yet to be given one. The rule at this point is that if a star is going to be given to someone posthumously after their death, usually there's a period of waiting about 5 years, which is interesting because that's around the same time it takes to open up the cause for canonization when someone's declared a saint in the Catholic Church. I don't know if there's a correlation between the two, probably not, just happens to be a happy coincidence, but I still think it's worth noting nonetheless, and that's your fun theology fact of the day. But I really do think this is important because, yes, Carrie Fisher will probably eventually get a star, but at this point, why wait? Why not give it to her? This is a woman who has had a incredible career, and some people just think, oh yeah, I guess she was Leia in Star Wars, but that was a iconic character. Again, Leia Organa Solo is a huge character, not just within the Star Wars universe, but also an iconic female character as well. If we want to talk about trailblazing characters in the history of film, Leia Organa, Princess Leia, is one of those founding people, is one of those strong people, because she was able to be strong, but at the same time also be feminine, which is something that's getting lost in the current culture of today, because today to be a strong woman means you have to shed away or lose some of your feminine characteristics, which I don't think is a good thing, and I don't think helps society and culture overall. And so I really do think that what Carrie Fisher did, not just her work in Star Wars, but also outside of Star Wars as well, is more than enough to merit her a star on the Walk of Fame, especially when you take into account there's plenty of people who probably shouldn't, or definitely not before Carrie Fisher got those got their stars instead. And I think it's more than enough time. I really do think it's time. So Mark Hamill, I want to just go out of my way to say I fully support this. I am going to add my voice to the Star Wars fans, and I'm going to lobby for this to happen. So if anyone is watching, if anyone wants to share this video, if anyone wants to add their voice to this, please do so, because I really do think that it's important, because I really do think that we need to, especially if we're already going to give recognition to people for acting. If we're already going to, and again, don't get me wrong, I know there are more important things going on in the world today than petitioning for this. There are other things that we should be petitioning for, but since this is a movie platform, since this is focused mostly on movie news, I think that this is something worth talking about, because when it comes to film, when it comes to film history, there are only a few iconic female characters, especially, that can usually come to mind very quickly. Carrie Fisher's is by far one of the easiest ones to name. So it says, Mark Hamill is sure his space sister will get her star along the Walk of Fame. It is just a matter of time. On Tuesday, the Star Wars icon responded via Twitter to a fan who asked the actor if the late Carrie Fisher would ever be bestowed the honor. Hamill said he was positive it would happen, but it would help for fans to lobby the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce to make sure it gets done in a timely fashion. So Chamber of Commerce, this is one Star Wars fan, one person who loved Carrie Fisher, most especially within her stand-up work, who really just does think that because of her history, because of everything that she was able to bring to the table, she absolutely deserves to have a spot in the Walk of Fame. She is by far one of the easiest examples that I can think of someone who is iconic, someone who, when they see, they will think, oh my goodness, Star Wars, one of the biggest cultural set pieces, one of the biggest cultural movements in our entire country. She was at the forefront. She was at the center of that. She was one of the original three. Her, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, all of these characters were at the forefront of this, and therefore she plays impertinent in such an important role to this. I really do think that she deserves this type of recognition. Carrie will get her well-deserved star on the Walk of Fame. It's only a matter of when. The rule is a 5-year wait when awarded posthumously. A letter to the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce wouldn't hurt, urging them to time to release it for episode 9, hashtag always with us. And I think that's a good thing. I really do. And get those things trending. Hashtag episode 9. Even though obviously I have my issues and problems with episode 9 and everything that's come before it, but at least if it's going to be to get the name out for Carrie Fisher and get her recognized in this way, I think that it's worth, you know, taking a moment to instead look to the positive being done here by honoring Carrie Fisher, and less so of doing anything positive towards episode 9, which of course I still have my own feelings about. The Princess Leia actress died on December 2016. She was 60 shortly after she passed. Fans created a makeshift star for her along the Walk of Fame. Fisher's mother, Debbie Reynolds, has a star. I think what would be amazing, and I don't know if they're going to be able to work this out logistically, but I think it would be amazing for both of them to have stars next to each other, or at least in the same vicinity of each other, because I really do think when you look at strong female characters, and not only that, but also when you look at really, really talented and just iconic female actresses, when you look to Debbie Reynolds and you look to Carrie Fisher, you have two powerhouses that are there, and especially since episode 9 being essentially the last time we'll see her on screen, because it's already been admitted that they are going to release some not CGI but some stock footage that they've had, you know, extra footage that they've had from other things. I really do think that this would be a great way to you know, reward her in this way for a lifetime of a career, a lifelong career. Through all the ups and downs, she still went forward. She still added so much, not only to Hollywood, you know, on the movies side of things, but also within television as well, which again, I wanted to point to a few things. So she was nominated 3 times for Primetime Emmys, including for Outstanding Variety. Carrie Fisher, Wishful Drinking. I actually got to see Carrie Fisher. I got her autograph. I got to see her, and she was all glittered up, had glitter all over her face, and it was probably one of the funniest things I've ever been to. When she pulled out the board and tried to show her family tree and how screwed up it is, I could not stop laughing. This woman understood comedy, understood how to tell a good story, and also was able to make us laugh, and was also able to bring some warmness to our hearts, especially in our current day, especially with everything going on with Star Wars and all the nonsense of Lucasfilm. I really do think that we should always remember she especially was always a guiding light. She was always someone that we could look to. She was the only one left in a real capacity. She was the only one left that was given any kind of justice in episode 8, but even then they still ruined her character a little bit. But Carrie Fisher was still strong enough in her performance to be able to even get past that. The emotion, the humanity that she showed in that performance was so nuanced that I really do think that it is something that's going to be unfortunately overlooked because of just how crappy the rest of the movie surrounding her was. But it's still really important nonetheless to see that she did have a career. She did have a career being nominated several times in a variety of different ways, winning various awards as well. Best Spoken Word winner for The Princess Diarist in 2018. So this is a woman who has done so many things, has done and broken so many basic norms of what it means to be a strong female character in a lot of different ways, not just as Leia, but also in her stand-up comedy routine, which was just amazing because guess what? She was able to be funny without having to talk about her private areas constantly. Yeah. I wish a lot of the other female comics currently working today could understand that you can still tell really good jokes without having to focus on your genitalia. But that's just me, guys. Anyway, what are your thoughts about this? I honestly really do think this is a good thing. This is a positive thing that we could talk about. Again, Carrie Fisher, Walk of Fame, getting that star. Screw the 5-year rule. Why is that even a thing? If the person is worthy, if the person has a career to back them up, which Carrie Fisher undoubtedly does, give it to her. But anyway, guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Keep it a little bit short today because it's a little bit late, and I'm sure we're going to get some breaking news tomorrow over the next couple of days dealing with more Star Wars stuff and more Marvel things and other movie news altogether. Do plan on seeing First Man this week. It opens up Thursday. I'm going to try to see that in IMAX, and going to try to do a couple other things as well. Live stream. Could be tonight, could be tomorrow. I don't know. It's just so pay attention to Twitter or the Discord if you're interested in that. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and as always, God bless.